later on tonight. But
so we're all on the lookout for the rain and the storms, including the city's Commissioner of Emergency Management, Zach Iskel.
Rainfall flooding is different than coastal flooding. Coastal flooding is sort of very easy for us to model and know where that storm surge that will go into Jamaica Bay or New York Harbor will go. Rainfall can impact anywhere in the city, right? It's much harder to forecast.
Keep it locked here to 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM for the latest on the storms. Andrew Cuomo is back in the mayoral race, announcing plans to run this fall as an independent against the man who beat him in the Democratic primary, Zohran Mamdani.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo says he's still in the running to be the next mayor of the city, but this time he's running as an independent.
When you get knocked down, learn your lesson and pick yourself back up and get in the game, and that is what I'm going to do.
Zohran Mamdani defeated Cuomo in the Democratic primary, and he's not backing down.
I think he's struggling to come to terms with what Tuesday meant. We spent an entire campaign being told that it was inevitable for Andrew Cuomo to become the next mayor. And what we saw was New Yorkers' hunger for a new kind of politics.
Each candidate says they'll be out and about looking to earn your vote come November. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Times Square.
A Long Island family has yet to return home nearly 8 months after someone crashed into that home.
With 3 children under the age of 6 wanting to go back home, Michael Rondio says he does not understand how an alleged drunk driver can go through his West Babylon house in November, and all these months later, he's still waiting for permits to be approved.
We started speaking with an architect, literally the day after it happened.
The family of 5 is living in a rental that insurance will only pay for until October.
Spoke with the guy over there. He said, we're backed up at least 3 weeks before I can even review it. We're so backed up.
The town says permits will be issued, but minor changes are made to the plans. They say the family wanting to add 4 feet to the house caused the delay. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
Now, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins. Here's Andrew O'Day.
The FDA, which has ordered food companies to stop using the artificial coloring red number 3 by 2027, has now approved a natural food dye that could replace it in many applications. Gardenia Blue is made from the fruit of the gardenia shrub. It's the 4th natural source color approved in the past 2 months. The FDA is now pushing food makers not to wait for the deadline to switch out red number 3. A group of 40 ice cream makers, which together sell 90% of the nation's ice cream, says today that its members will eliminate a swath of artificial colors, including red 40, green 3, blue 1, blue 2, yellow 5, and yellow 6, from their products by the end of 2027. Last year, the U.S. produced 1.3 billion gallons of ice cream, and each of us on average ate 19 pounds of it. Wall Street pushed its way through fresh tariff threat anxiety to close higher. Dow rose 88, NASDAQ up 55 to a new record, S&P up 9. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Hi, I'm Steve Harris, founder of Harris Law. While standing alone, Vivian was struck by a speeding vehicle that left the scene. She sustained multiple fractures, but because it was a hit and run, there was no defendant to sue. At Harris Law, we got her more than $1 million. I'll tell you how right after this.
Have you been the victim of negligence or malpractice? Harris Law, New York's premier injury law firm, is a tough, dedicated legal team that will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call 212-593-7600 or visit harrislawnyc.com.
To collect from her own insurance, Vivian had to prove actual physical contact with a vehicle that fled the scene. With no eyewitnesses, her insurance company denied the claim. At Harris Law, we searched the neighborhood until we found footage of the accident in a security camera outside a local bodega. That's how we got Vivian more than $1 million.
Call Harris Law today, 212-593-7600 or harrislawnyc.com. The consultation is free. The compensation could be millions.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Caribbean Food Delights. Grab a patty, take a bite. Available at Costco, BJ's, Sam's Club, Walmart, and local stores nationwide. Visit CaribbeanFoodDelights.com for more information. You're making me hungry.
Caribbean Food Delights.
We've seen a ton of rain in parts of our area so far, and there are flash flood warnings for southwestern Bergen County in New Jersey, also Essex County, Hudson County, Passaic County, Union County, all in New Jersey. Staten Island is under a flash flood warning, and this is until 6:15 p.m. We'll have the full forecast, full 4-day forecast from Brian Thompson coming up in about 3 minutes. As we get past tonight, the humidity is not going away. We're still going to have it for several days in the forecast. Good afternoon. I'm Bud Mishkin. Wins News Time at the Tone, 5:30.
Good afternoon. I'm Lori Madden. The people who deliver your groceries in the city are one step closer to getting a raise. A city council committee has okayed a package of bills that will benefit Instacart and other workers, but the industry is fighting back.
Instacart protested with a large electronic sign on a box truck parked outside City Hall.
The city council wants to pass laws that could raise the cost of groceries in New York even more. Don't let City Hall raise your grocery bill.
The council raising the minimum wage to $21.44 an hour for some 20,000 grocery delivery people. One of Councilman Sean Brayer's bills would restore the tipping option apps took away when food delivery workers got raises this year.
By having the minimum wage, but also having a tipping option at checkout, I think we're going to see a tangible market difference in the lives of our deliveristas.
Marla Diamond, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM at City Hall.
Wins News Time 5:31. Time now for expanded traffic and transit on these very wet roads. Here's Greg Rice.
Yeah, Lori, it's not so much the volume on a summer Monday, but it is really what these waters, these drenching thunderstorms did to northern New Jersey, pretty much north and east of 287. So north of Piscataway, east of Morristown, all the way to the Hudson River. All of this in northern New Jersey really sucked by these thunderstorms and at a crawl. You do have some flooding to deal with as well. On 208, either way in Hawthorne, your Gothel Road, you got the right lane out either way. Garden State Parkway, somebody wrecked in Irvington South, then you're at 143 in the right lane. But the bulk of our issues here in northern New Jersey, everything's just waterlogged. And we're also seeing the effects in the air. Newark, LaGuardia, Kennedy Airport, they are all still shut down more or less. It is all because of the ground stops with these severe storms. And if you're fancy, nothing's flying in and out of Teterboro either. Now, here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Know that it's still dry for now at the inbound George, and traffic looks good. Out of town, the northbound west side and southbound Deegan, best ways to skip town. Lincoln, we're looking at about 10 minutes in. Outbound Lincoln, no more than a few. The outbound Holland, it's about 15 to 20. And on the Jersey side, the outbound covered roadway and inbound Skyway are slow. Again, all of our approaches on the jam cams out of the city to the outbound Lincoln and Holland, they're still dry. But back in New Jersey, again, everything north and east on 287 is all waterlogged, pretty much east of Morristown, all the way to the Hudson River with these thunderstorms. And if you're in a jam, call the Barnes Firm traffic tip line at 844-JAM-1010. That's 844-JAM-1010. Traffic is sponsored by the Barnes Firm. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right firm is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible.
The Barnes Firm, injury attorneys, 1-800-8 million.
Manhattan, Long Island.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. He has all the latest on these storms. Here is meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Yeah, Greg was talking about, Lori, that area of New Jersey, east of Morristown, east of 287. That's basically where we have flash flood warnings all across northeast New Jersey right now. That includes the western part of Staten Island, too, although things looking a little bit better in Staten Island right now. And then you follow these warnings up into the lower Hudson Valley, too. Much of Rockland and central and southern parts of Westchester County, especially in Westchester County between Mount Pleasant and Hartsdale, White Plains. That's kind of where the bulk of the rain is right now, raining pretty hard around Dobbs Ferry. We do have a new flash flood warning warning has just come out west of the city. This includes Essex and Union counties in New Jersey. Those areas were already under a flash flood warning, but the Weather Service kind of enhancing that wording a little bit now as the rain continues to fall. We have an area of very heavy rain, especially west of Elizabeth toward Cranford, Westfield, Mountainside, Plainfield. And the concern is, looking off to the south and west, you get down toward Piscataway and Somerville, there are additional storms forming and moving to the north and east. So we'll see storms moving over the same area, and that could lead to 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in some places. And some of these areas have already picked up a couple of inches of rain. So that can lead to some very dangerous flooding that can develop very quickly when you have rainfall rates this high. So we have the flood watch up until midnight. We'll drop to 72 tonight. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, all very similar. It'll be warm and humid. There will be some spotty afternoon thunderstorms, but nothing like what we're seeing today. We do have some light rain in the city, though. Nothing heavy in Midtown right now. We're at 80 degrees, going down to 72 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The White House gets the green light for more layoffs.
The Supreme Court is allowing the president to continue with mass firings at the Education Department. The court has paused a lower court's order that had required the department to rehire 1,400 employees who had been laid off. The decision to lift the stay was 6-3, with the majority saying the lower court's injunction would be paused while the case works its way through the appeals process. The court's 3 liberal justices disagreed with the move, with Justice Sonia Sotomayor saying dismantling the Education Department is indefensible.
Correspondent Matt Piper. New York and New Jersey are among 20 states suing the Trump administration for freezing funding for after-school and summer programs. This was money that had already been set aside by Congress and would have benefited mostly low-income families. The lawsuit alleges withholding the money violates the Constitution and several federal laws. There has been no comment from the administration. While Americans are having trouble coming up with a down payment for a new home, much less the monthly carrying costs, foreign buyers are apparently not having such trouble.
The National Association of Realtors reports that foreign buyers purchased $56 billion worth of previously owned homes in the U.S. from April 2024 through March 2025, a more than 33% increase over the previous 12-month period. The median purchase price for foreign acquisitions was an all-time high, topping $494,000, with more than 78,000 properties being sold to overseas buyers. The association says Florida has been the top destination for foreign home buyers for 15 straight years.
Correspondent Jason Brooks. AccuWeather says we have a flash flood warning in effect for western Staten Island and most of northeastern New Jersey through 6:15, and this has just been extended now to Essex and Union counties through 7:30 tonight. We're going to get an update in just a few minutes from AccuWeather on these storms. Superman, meanwhile, leaving the dinos in the dust. That story's next.
The Salvation Army urgently needs your vehicle, boat, RV, motorcycle, and trucks. These donations fund rehabilitation centers where men and women who've lost everything can find hope. Trusted for over 150 years, the Salvation Army will pick up your vehicle and provide an IRS-approved receipt. Your generosity is doing the most good when donating to the Salvation Army. Call 800-SA-TRUCK or visit satruck.org. Thank you for helping. The Salvation Army, doing the most good.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-473-9933. 800-473-9933. 800-473-9933.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Now 1010 Wins Entertainment. The Man of Steel isn't messing around at the box office.
Hey! Quit
Quit messing around.
Not messing around, doing important stuff.
Superman soared to a $220 million take globally over the weekend. The dinos are still having their day, though, in theaters. Jurassic World Rebirth has upped its take to $530 million in the last 2 weeks. Lilo and Stitch is nearing the $1 billion mark.
Entertainment on 1010 Wins is sponsored by Shulman & Hill, New York's injury lawyers.
Go to hurtny.com.
That's hurtny.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
The station you know, the people you trust.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 80 degrees at 5:40. I'm Lori Madden, and here's what's happening. A flash flood warning is in effect for western Staten Island and most of northeast New Jersey. These storms have already dumped 2 to 3 inches of rain in some areas. The roads in Jersey are a mess. Live updates in a moment from Greg Rice in Traffic and Transit and AccuWeather's Brian Thompson. He was already on the ballot, but Andrew Cuomo says yes, he will campaign for mayor of New York.
When you get knocked down, learn the lesson and pick yourself back up and get in the game.
A fortune teller in Midtown didn't see this coming. She's accused of swindling a customer out of tens of thousands of dollars to lift a curse. Elmo is back to his old self on social media after a hack had him spewing very un-Elmo-like things. A hotbog teenager has quite a decision to make. Yale or MLB? On Wall Street today, a new record high for the NASDAQ as the markets all closed up. Wins News Time 5:41. Time now for Expanded Traffic and Transit from the Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com Traffic Center. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, if for some reason you have to be out and about through New Jersey right now, you are getting socked with these thunderstorms, some of which are just nearly stationary from what we're seeing. Northbound, north of 287 near Piscataway, east of Morristown on 287, all the way to the Hudson River. You are just getting walloped, as Brian Thompson over AccuWeather has been telling us, with these thunderstorms in the area. Garden State Parkway not helping matters. You're also dealing with a crash in Irvington southbound near 143C and a virtual standstill either way through Cranford, New Jersey Turnpike, 287, 280. All of this really a mess because of all of the water all over the roads. Parts of 78 are flooded out. Eastbound, you're into 45 and Summit, you lose the right lane. And up in Hawthorne, 208 either way at Gothel Road, the right lane is completely flooded out. Different story, other side of the river. It's getting a little darker, but still dry at the inbound George, where you've got a good city-bound ride to the west side. Easiest way to skip town. Lincoln into the city, you're all right. Outbound Lincoln, where all of these approaches have gotten very dark, you can still get out pretty easily. And the outbound Holland's not bad either. Outbound Covered Roadway, inbound Skyway slower on the Jersey side. Newark Bay is better. In the Bronx, southbound side of 95, just coming down to Pelham Park, where it looks like a crash slowing you down through Co-op City. And in Queens, Cross Island southbound off the Whitestone coming down to Francis Lewis Boulevard. That's an accident. Stay with the southbound Whitestone Expressway instead. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
And Greg's not kidding. It just got very dark here in the city, but it is northeastern New Jersey that is getting swamped with these downpours. Let's get the very latest from AccuWeather's Brian Thompson on these storms. Brian.
Yeah, Lori, a new flash flood warning has come out in parts of New Jersey. This includes northeastern part of Middlesex County and southeastern Morris and eastern parts of Somerset County. It's in effect until 9:45. But basically, as you get east of 287 in New Jersey, all of northeast New Jersey, really north of the bottom end of 287, north of Piscataway, is under a flash flood warning at this point into the early evening hours. And these extend northeastward up through Rockland, central and southern parts of Westchester County, and also into southwest Connecticut. Again, there's a large area that's under a flash flood warning. Want to hit some of the hardest hit areas right now west of the city, around especially west of Newark and Elizabeth. This is an area that has a new flash flood warning in Union and Essex counties, relatively new. It's up until 7:30 tonight, and there's some really heavy rain around the Westfield area through Plainfield. And again, this extends down toward Middlesex and Piscataway, and the concern is that these storms are just moving one after the other over the same areas, and that's causing a lot of rain to pile up. A lot of this area has already picked up 2 to 3 inches of rain based on radar estimates. In fact, around Linden, radar estimating close to 4 inches of rain. So it won't take much to cause additional flooding. And then as you get farther north, we're watching this area around Mahwah in far northern New Jersey and along 287 in Rockland County, where we've seen radar estimates of 4 to 5 inches of rain. And there is another area of very heavy rain coming up 287 right now. So even though there's a bit of a break in that area right now, we're going to see more rain piling up, and that could cause additional flooding issues. So again, we'll have this flash flooding concern for the next few hours. Things should wind down later this evening into the overnight. Lori?
Okay, this is clearly turning into a very dangerous situation in areas, especially north and west of the city. Make sure you stay with 1010 Winds and 1010winds.com. We will continue to keep you up to date on these flooding downpours. If you're counting, there are now 5 candidates on the ballot who are campaigning for mayor. Andrew Cuomo says it's official. He is in.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo isn't walking away from the mayoral race just yet. He'll be on the ballot, but this time as an independent.
Only 13% of New Yorkers voted in the June primary. The general election is in November, and I am in it to win it.
Zohran Mamdani, who beat Cuomo in the Democratic primary, says he knows New Yorkers are looking for a new type of politics that Cuomo isn't leading with.
A politics focused on working people. A politics where far more New Yorkers than before could see themselves in those same policies.
They'll both be out and about looking to win your vote for the November election. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in Times Square.
An Ulster County clerk standing her ground when it comes to New York's SHIELD law that protects abortion providers from anti-abortion measures in other states. The clerk has once again refused to file a $100,000 civil judgment against the New Paltz doctor who provided abortion pills to a Dallas area woman via telemedicine. New York is among 8 states with SHIELD laws that protect doctors. A Midtown fortune teller is under arrest, accused of swindling a customer out of tens of thousands of dollars.
When you see ads on the street for palm and tarot card readings, you probably don't realize it's illegal.
You see fortune-telling parlors all over New York City.
PI Bob Nygaard has been helping police track down illegal fortune tellers. The latest suspect, Pamela Ufi, is charged with bilking a woman out of 87 grand. He calls it organized crime and says it won't stop until authorities take it more seriously.
If you take care of the small problems, then you don't end up with the big problems. If you take care of the fortune telling, you don't end up with the grand larceny.
He's been trying to sound the alarm on this for years.
It's like knocking my head against a brick wall.
Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Step into a world of possibilities at Resorts World Casino. Whether you're a seasoned player or trying your luck for the first time, our casinos offer something for everyone. Spin and win on the hottest slots and electronic table games at Resorts World New York City and Hudson Valley. Looking for live table game thrills? Head up to Resorts World Catskill. Only 90 minutes from the GW Bridge. There, you can play blackjack, baccarat, roulette, craps, and so much more. Visit Resorts World Casinos today. Go to visitrw.com to learn more. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Must be 21 plus the gamble. Cascos and 18 plus the gamble. New York City and Hudson Valley.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
President Trump is threatening tariffs against Russia.
I'm disappointed in President Putin.
President Trump shared his frustration towards the Russian leader while meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte at the White House. Rutte said European allies will buy U.S. military equipment, including Patriot missile defense batteries, and transfer it to Ukraine. And President Trump made this threat if Russia continues its war.
We're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days.
Secondary tariffs mean targeting Russia's trading partners. The president said his actions will raise tariffs to 100%.
Correspondent Wendy Gillette. The EU has a message for President Trump. 30% tariffs against the bloc are absolutely unacceptable. EU trade ministers say they're studying a new set of countermeasures in response. They met in Brussels this morning after Trump's surprise announcement over the weekend. Sesame Workshop says it has secured Elmo's X account after a hack resulted in some very un-Elmo-like posts.
The X account for Elmo, the furry red monster from Sesame Street, shared a string of posts Sunday that included racist and anti-Semitic language. At one point, it even commented on the sex trafficking investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. A spokesperson for Sesame Workshop said the disgusting posts were the work of a hacker, and they're working to restore full control of the account. The posts have since been taken down. Mike Dubowski, ABC News.
A Long Island teenager is living a baseball dream, but he has quite a decision to make.
It was an amazing announcement for Michael Oliveto of Hop Hog.
With the 34th pick of the 2025 MLB Draft, Detroit Tigers select Michael Oliveto, a catcher from Hop Hog, New York.
The 18-year-old's varsity high school coach, Josh Gutes, says everything Michael does is impressive.
Whether it's in the classroom, the weight room, the baseball field, he is going to put his best foot forward and be the best that he can possibly be in anything.
Oliveto planned to go to Yale University in the fall, so now the question, will it be Yale or the Tigers? Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Hop Hog, Long Island.
Wins News Time 5:51 time now for expanded traffic and transit. We have this very dangerous situation developing because of these flooding downpours. Here's Greg Rice.
Yeah, it looks like the rain is on its way to the city, but it is really more than anything now the rain doing damage in New Jersey, north and east of 287. So north of Piscataway, east of Morristown, all the way to the Hudson River. Everything is pretty much waterlogged. Garden State Parkway northbound, just a crawl either way getting through Cranford because of all of the water that has fallen. Parts of 78 are flooded out. As in Summit on 78 eastbound near exit 45, you got the right lane completely blocked off. Ditto with 208 in Hawthorne. Either way at Goffle Road, you got the right lane completely flooded out at this point. Again, the weather's starting to turn at the George, but the traffic's still doable on the upper and lower level. The west side, easiest way to sneak out. Inbound Lincoln's all right. Outbound side of the Lincoln, I'm not seeing much traffic. I'm not seeing anybody with umbrellas yet, but we'll see. Holland Tunnel outbound, no more than 10 minutes. Gotta love these summer Mondays. Outbound covered roadway and inbound Skyway are slow. Newark Bay, going to be a better idea. In Queens, Cross Island Parkway southbound, right before Francis Lewis Boulevard, you got a couple of lanes out with a crash. Your single file and slam back onto the Whitestone Bridge and Whitestone Expressway. Clearview, Throgsneck combination, either way, the better of it through Queens. And the ride right now out of the Bronx, southbound 95 slows from Co-op City all the way down to Pelham Parkway because of a crash. Traffic is sponsored by I'm Morgan. And Morgan, I'm Greg Rice. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast sponsored by Chef IQ Sense. He has all the latest on these storms. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Yeah, it is turning into a pretty dangerous situation right now, Lori, in northeast New Jersey, as we just continue to have more storms developing. Almost all of northern New Jersey, near and north of I-78, is now covered in storms, and you just have these repeated downpours moving over the same places. And some areas of New Jersey have already seen between 3 and 5 inches of rain. We've seen that west of Staten Island, around Linden, back through Clark and Plainfield. Our radar estimating 3 or 4 inches of rain so far, and there have been some radar estimates of close to 5 inches of rain farther north into Bergen County around Mahwah, where the rain is starting to pick back up again after a little bit of a break. So we have flash flood warnings. They're basically cover all of northeast New Jersey. A lot of those were just extended into the 8 o'clock hour around Newark and up through Bergen County as well. And then some of the warnings up into Westchester County have been extended into the 7 o'clock hour too, around White Plains. Dobbs Ferry still getting hit very hard, and some very heavy rain along 287 and then along 280 in New Jersey, and also along Interstate 78, right around Plainfield, Westfield. This is an area that's just been getting really heavy rain, and there's still more storms developing off to the south and west. So again, the danger here is the flash flooding. Again, the rainfall amounts could add up to 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain in a short period of time. And that could cause some dangerous flooding in a very short period of time. That's the concern, is how fast this can happen with rainfall rates as heavy as they are right now. So we will see this continue for the next few hours. Things will start to ease up later in the evening and into the overnight. We'll see some clearing, a low of 72, and just some pop-up storms the next few afternoons. Won't be anything like today. Warm and humid as well. Highs in the upper 80s to near 90. It is raining right now. We're at 80 degrees in Midtown, going down to 72 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. How long have I been talking about the Chef IQ Sense wireless thermometer? You know how much I love it, but check out what one of our listeners says. It's phenomenal. You want to make a brisket, you look at your phone, and your mouth starts watering when you've got 20 minutes left. Phenomenal. The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat. Whether cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill, the app alerts you when everything's done. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense now at chefiq.com.
Dana Ford Summer Sales Event. New 2025 Ford Explorer Active. Lease $299 a month, 36 months, 0 security. $43.39 due at signing. Includes 2-year complimentary maintenance. Details at DanaFordDeals.com. Dana Ford, Staten Island. With approved credit, dealer retains Ford rebates. Expires 7/31/25.
Now the bottom line for small business, sponsored by Dime Community Bank. Here's Rob Walsh.
In Washington, we're seeing devastating cuts to many environmental initiatives. While here in New York City, efforts to boost the green economy continue, from promoting renewable energy to investing in new job training programs. Last week, the New York City Economic Development Corporation announced Fordham University as the first recipient of the Green Light Innovation Fund, a $50 million program dedicated to fostering growth in forward-looking industries like life sciences, the green economy, and advanced technology. Fordham will be awarded $3 billion, coupled with an additional $1.1 million from the City Council. These funds will facilitate the transformation of a 13,000 square foot space on Fordham Road into an entrepreneurship hub, offering a wide range of services geared towards job creation. And that's my view on the bottom line for small business. I'm Rob Walsh for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
I'm here with Stu LeBeau, President and CEO of Dime Community Bank. Tell us about the bank and its future.
The bank opened in 1864 at the foot of the Williamsburg Bridge. We've evolved from a monoline savings bank in 2017 when I joined the bank into a state-of-the-art community commercial bank, and we have growth in our Dime Private Bank and Commercial Bank.
For your business banking needs, go to dime.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, we're Wren Kitchens. In our 50-year history, we've made and installed millions of quality kitchens, and now you can find us at the Home Depot across the tri-state tri-state area. With thousands of styles and colors to choose from, we offer a free home measurement service and expert design consultation. All of our kitchens are made in the U.S. and delivered directly to you and installed by our specialist fitters. We cut out the middleman to save you money. And with our flexible financing, you can spread the cost over 7 years. Come down to Wren Kitchens at the Home Depot now. Finance subject to credit approval. Offers may change. See website for more details.
Now a commercial message. I'm Larry Holmes. Personal injury should equal personal attention. That's what you get at Spector & Associates Serious Injury Law Firm. They understand accidents and represent people who have been seriously injured. Spector & Associates is based in New York and will help. Injured? Call them first. 800-318-8888. Spector & Associates has recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for their clients. Have you been involved in any kind of accident? Visit their website, crashinjury.com, or call 800-318-8888. The attorneys at Spector & Associates are fierce in getting you the money you deserve. Call them first, 800-318-8888. That's 800-318-8888. Or visit their website, crashinjury.com.
Spector and Associates, your serious injury lawyers. 800-318-8888.
Licensed in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania.
WINS FM, and HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
1010 Winds AccuWeather says we have a very dangerous situation developing, especially in northeast Jersey with these downpours. Flash flood warning in effect until 8:15 tonight for western Staten Island and pretty much all of northeast Jersey, southern Fairfield counties, central Westchester counties. A flash flood warning in effect for southern Rockland and west central Westchester counties. We're going to get a live update in just a moment from AccuWeather's Brian Thompson. He has been telling us some areas have already seen 3 to 5 inches of rain, and more is on the way. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Tanya Mercado is our service aide. Martin Untroy Briding. Swatina Kakar is at the editor's desk. I'm Lori Madden.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM, New York.
Well, good afternoon. It's 80 degrees at 6 o'clock. I'm Bud Mishkin. Here's what's happening. Flash flood warnings throughout our area. We'll get to live AccuWeather in just a minute. Andrew Cuomo confirms he will run this fall as an independent.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that the Democratic primary did not go the way I had hoped.
The winner of that primary, Zohran Mamdani, says Cuomo is still struggling to come to terms with what the primary results meant. A new study about New York City rents near subway stations. Spoiler alert, they're going up. The Malibu home of the late, great Tom Petty goes up for sale. And the box said chocolate sponge cake. Inside the box, there were 1,500 young tarantulas. Just another day as a customs official. On Wall Street today, both the Dow and the NASDAQ finished up. The Dow up 88 points, the NASDAQ up 54. Sports, it's the baseball all-star break. Tonight is the Home Run Derby. Jazz Chisholm Jr. of the Yankees is participating. Wednesday News Time, 6:01. That's time for expanded traffic and transit from the Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com Traffic Center. Here's Greg Rice.
Now, the waterlogged roads of New Jersey continue to be the story. North and east of 287, north of Piscataway, east of Morristown, everything all the way to the Hudson, just absolutely waterlogged, some worse than other. 78 either way in Berkeley Heights near exit 41. 2 lanes are out, and 78 eastbound near exit 45. They got the right lane flooded out. 208 in Hawthorne near Goffle Road. They got the right lane blocked off either way because the water is just too high. At the Garden State Parkway, I'm seeing on the jam cams, everybody is just taking it extra slow either way between Woodbridge and at least East Orange. Now, here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Getting a little wetter at the inbound George, but traffic is still fine into the city. West Side Highway, southbound Deegan are fine as you try to skip town. Lincoln, no more than about 15 minutes in. Outbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel, no more than 10 minutes. The outbound Holland's fine. They're starting to get rain over there, but again, traffic's not the issue on this summer Monday at the outbound Lincoln or Holland. On the Jersey side of the Holland, Southbound covered roadway and inbound Skyway a bit slow. The Newark Bay is better. Northbound Whitestone Expressway, Queensbound Whitestone Bridge slow because of a wreck on the southbound Cross Island near Francis Lewis Boulevard, leaving just one lane moving. Traffic is sponsored by ThriveWellInfusion.com. Living with a chronic illness that requires IV medication? Say hello to state-of-the-art private suites for all of your infusion needs at ThriveWell Infusion, providing exceptional care, comfort, compassion, and convenience. Visit them at ThriveWellInfusion.com, saving lives drip by drip. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Okay, so we've been hearing about these flash flood warnings throughout our area. Let's get the latest now. Let's go right to AccuWeather's Brian Thompson.
Yeah, but the flash flood warnings now cover basically all of northeastern New Jersey, and these go through pretty much most of the lower Hudson Valley as well. This is a large area that's seeing some very heavy rain. I do want to highlight kind of the hardest hit areas, many of which are still getting heavy rain at this hour, and some of these are north of the city into the Hudson Valley, southern Westchester County around Mount Pleasant, and just to the south approaching White Plains, but around the Mount Pleasant area, radar is estimating 4 to 5 inches of rain has fallen. Same goes as you get farther west through Rockland County, around Chestnut Ridge, and then back over toward Mahwah in far northern New Jersey. Radar estimating, again, about 4 to 5 inches of rain has fallen, and we're just getting some very heavy rain. And around the Mount Pleasant area in Westchester County, we've been seeing rainfall rates about 2 to 3 inches an hour. Same goes just west of Staten Island, around Plainfield, Piscataway. It's just pouring right now. Again, we're seeing rainfall rates 2 to 3 inches an hour, and we're just seeing more storms developing off to the south and west. So we're having these storms moving over the same area, one after the other, creating this dangerous flash flooding situation. In the city, again, in Staten Island, we've been getting some rain in some of the western parts of Staten Island. The rain has picked up in Manhattan, but we're still kind of on the eastern fringe of this at the moment. Again, the worst of it right now is off to the north and west. So we'll continue to watch for this flash flooding. Again, flash flood warnings now cover most of northeast New Jersey and the lower Hudson Valley. And we're going to continue to see some issues here for the next few hours before things ease up later this evening. Bud?
And keep it locked here at 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM for the latest on the storms going through our area. Andrew Cuomo has made it official. He's running for mayor this fall as an independent after losing the Democratic primary to Zohran Mamdani. Here's 1010 Wins reporter Marilyn Buckley.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo says he's still in the running to be the next mayor of the city, but this time he's running as an independent.
When you get knocked down, learn the lesson and pick yourself back up and get in the game, and that is what I'm going to do.
Zohran Mamdani defeated Cuomo in the Democratic primary, and he's not backing down.
I think he's struggling to come to terms with what Tuesday meant. We spent an entire campaign being told that it was inevitable for Andrew Cuomo to become the next mayor. And what we saw was New Yorkers' hunger for a new kind of politics.
Each candidate says they'll be out and about looking to earn your vote come November. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Times Square.
Andrew Cuomo pitched an idea over the weekend that any mayoral hopeful not named Zohran Mamdani should exit the race in September if they are not leading an independent poll, so as not to split votes in the campaign against Mamdani, who defeated Cuomo in the Democratic primary. Mayor Adams is not having it.
Mayor Adams seems to suggest that Andrew Cuomo convinced independent candidate Jim Walden to float the idea of honoring one winner of a fall poll to challenge Zohran Mamdani.
This proposal that was put out, it was Andrew's proposal. He uses people to put things out that he really would like to come later and say, okay, I endorse what an independent person is doing.
Adams says the primary was the poll, not the ones showing that Cuomo was in the lead.
New York City's not a consolation prize.
He says moving the goalpost is right out of the Cuomo playbook. He says he can't help himself. Juliette Papa, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
They are two staples of life in New York, rent and the subway. A new study from Rent Hop confirms what you perhaps already knew. Rents increased near 87% of subway stations this year. So in the vicinity of 412 subway stations, the rents are going up. They're going up elsewhere, too. The median citywide rent is now $4,700. That is the highest on record. Rents increased throughout the outer boroughs, off stops on the M line. For example, Fresh Pond Road and Middle Village Metropolitan Avenue. Same for the E, M, and R lines at Steinway Street and 65th Street. Rents actually decreased at some spots along the 4 and 6 trains in the Bronx and the G and L lines in Williamsburg. The highest increase goes to Steinway Street in Queens with a 14.29% jump. That is not a contest you want to win. Riders of the G train, get ready. Get ready for disruptions because of a modernization project, primarily during the overnight hours, specifically 9:45 p.m. to 8 a.m. G train service is suspended between Court Square and Bedford Nostrand Avenues. All this week, then again from July 24th to the 28th, and then August 1st to August 11th. There will be free shuttle bus service making all stops between Court Square and Bedford Nostrand Avenue. The train will make all stops between Church Avenue and Bedford Nostrand Avenue. A West Babylon family remains out of their home since last November because of permit issues after their home was hit by an accused drunk driver.
Father of 3 young children, Michael Ragno and his wife say they are in a town permit nightmare. Right before last Thanksgiving, an alleged drunk driver slammed into their West Babylon home. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but Ragno says trying to get permits approved to fix up the house has been very hard.
The kids keep asking, when are we going back to the blue house?
Right now, they're living in a rental.
It's like, well, we have other people ahead of you with, they're asking for the same kind of situation. I said, dude, I promise you it is not the same situation.
In a statement, the town of Babylon says the family applied for a 4-foot extension on the house, which took more time. The plans now require minor corrections, after which a permit can be issued. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
The White House has gotten the green light for more layoffs.
The Supreme Court is allowing the president to continue with mass firings at the Education Department. The court has paused a lower court's order that had required the department to rehire 1,400 employees who had been laid off. The decision to lift the stay was 6-3, with the majority saying the lower court's injunction would be paused while the case works its way through the